In today's short video, I'm going to list 3 different ways you can stay motivated at university. Why is motivation important? Well, typically highly motivated people are successful, it can lead to more money, and being motivated can improve your mental well-being as well. Firstly, I recommend that you find a mentor. This mentor, if you play sport, could be your coach. Now, a coach is highly motivated, typically you'll have a close relationship with this person, and they should be a role model as well. You could also have your lecturer as a mentor too. They have experience, they know what you've been through, they have empathy, and they've also got connections to help you go to the next level when you graduate. Thirdly, a classmate can be a good mentor as well. They're understanding, they know exactly within that time what you're going through, how you feel. A really good student can be an inspiration, and normally you'll have a close bond with people in your class, so it's quite easy to chat to them and find ways that they can help you. Who was my mentor growing up and going through university? I had quite a few, but the main one for me was my sister. 3 years older than me. She was the first person in our family to go to university. We had shared experiences, and she's a very highly motivated person who pushed me to do more with my life. What I recommend you think about is, well, who is your mentor? Who can you speak to help you? You need to keep in regular contact. Some people find a mentor and they just don't make that move frequently to speak to them and learn from them. You need to use the energy, the motivation of this mentor to get you through the bad times. Secondly, this one's my favorite, is visualization. For me, when I was at University of Hull in the library, I'd do a few hours and quite naturally you get tired. And my initial response would be, I'm going home. Now, I don't want to promote burnout, but there are times at university it's going to be hard. You want to go home, you want to quit, but you need to keep persevering. If you keep persevering, that's going to increase your chances of being successful. So what I did, I gave myself this ultimatum. Every time I was in the library, doing work at home, and I was tired, my quotations were something like this. Well, you can just give up, you can fuck off back to where you came from, you can live that life on the estate and never change your life for the better. The other voice in my head would be, no, do an extra hour, do an extra half an hour here, don't give up, work hard, you're going to create a better life for yourself if you keep persevering. And the thought of going back to where I came from was a huge motivational factor for me, so I'd stay in the library and do more work. Because in reality, fear was my motivation throughout my degree. This video might not be for everyone because you motivate yourself in different ways, but for me, fear was the big one. I grew up with very little money, and I felt that if I went to university, it would help me with my future. I could have more money, I could have a nice home. And over time, this happened, but it took time, it took perseverance. My advice going forward for you, well, what's your unique ultimatum? Use this ultimatum every single time you're thinking of quitting in the library, in the gym, whatever it is in life you think of giving up, use the ultimatum. You may have to change the ultimatum if it could lose impact. For me, fear doesn't work anymore. I've reached a certain stage in my life where I'm content, but for years I was not content. Fear took me to the next level. Finally, tell people about your plans. I did this all the time. I used to tell anyone that was prepared to listen, one day I'm going to work at Leicester Tigers or Leicester City. This goes back to a previous video with Logan Paul where I spoke about being a delusional optimist. This won't work for everyone. For some people, telling everyone about your plans adds more pressure, adds more stress. It's difficult to cope with that. For me, I loved it. I'd tell people, but then I'd think, oh fuck, I better go to the library or I better get myself another internship so I can back up what I'm saying. But I did this for years. This is Leicester Tigers Stadium, and I used to train in the park just behind the stadium when I was 16, 17. So this is before uni. And for 2 years, training with my friend on this park, during our rest intervals, I'd look at him, look at the stadium, and I'd tell him, he's probably fed up with me, but I'd say, I'm going to work at that club one day. I'm going to be there. And I did. It happened. About 5 years after I first said it, I was there. So my advice to you, what is your goal? What do you plan to do with your life? Tell people. Shout it from the rooftops. Tell your mum, tell your dad, people in your class, whoever's prepared to listen to you. But you need to back it up. I know so many people that have these goals and I'm going to do this, and it looks great on Instagram when they say it, But in reality, what are you doing behind the scenes to make it work for yourself? Okay, so that was my short video. I hope it was useful. I've got plenty more videos about student issues and motivation, and I recommend you subscribe as well to keep up to date. If you've got any recommendations for future videos, any suggestions, please get in touch on Instagram at Sports Science Hacks. Okay, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.